Have you ever wondered, why do so many people pray? Why do so many people reach toward that unseen world when your life seems fine right now? Does prayer actually work, or is it just something naive people believe, hoping that if they pray, something good might happen someday? Or are you saying that only weak and lazy people pray, people who don't try in the real world and just hope to get something for free? But think about this. There are 8 billion people in the world. About 2.3 billion identify as Christians. Research suggests that roughly 50 to 60% of them pray daily. That means around 1.2 billion Christians pray every single day. And surveys show that 70 to 80% of those who pray say they have experienced answered prayer at some point in their lives. That means, there are still left with almost a billion people who say, God answered me. That is not a fringe belief. That is not a small group. So, at what point do we stop dismissing it and at least ask, what if there is something real here? Throughout history, kings and presidents have prayed, especially in their hardest moments. The King Solomon, as he did 1000th prayer, God made him probably the most powerful, rich, and wise king who ever lived. Abraham Lincoln prayed during the Civil War when the nation was collapsing and faced the most difficult crisis in its history. Entertainers pray. Denzel Washington says, put God first. Justin Bieber credits prayer for carrying him through his darkest seasons. Mark Wahlberg speaks about daily prayer as part of his discipline. Champions pray. Stephen Curry prays before games. Lionel Messi publicly thanks God after scoring. Novak Djokovic speaks about faith shaping his mindset. These are people with money, fame, power, and influence. If they already have everything, why do they still pray? Because they say they would not be there if God had not helped them along the way. They openly admit they are nothing without God's guidance. These are not just naive or lazy people. These are the ones you trust and look up to. If one of your close family members secretly told you this, would you think they were lying to you? They know life is fragile. They know success can disappear. Health can change. Nations can collapse. Fortunes can fall. And in their hardest moments, they looked upward. So here is the real question. We read their books. We watched their documentaries. We admire their strength. Why not at least explore the one thing they consistently practiced? Prayer is not weakness. It is connection. What if something simple, a few minutes in the morning or during the day, or a longer version for night to fall asleep, could anchor your life? What if you are not shouting into empty air, but connecting to something greater? What if the connection is real? Life is fragile, so why not find out for yourself? We don't think about insurance until something happens. We don't think about protection until danger appears. When everything is fine, a good meal, a warm bed, and a steady income, we feel in control. But what if suddenly, you can't breathe? Your business collapses. An accident happens. The money disappears. The diagnosis changes everything. Then what? Prayer is not weakness. It's connection. It's like carrying a powerful phone but never turning on Wi-Fi. Without connection, the phone is limited. With connection, you can reach far and beyond. What if prayer is simply turning on that connection? And not just to anyone, but to the Creator, the one who made the air in your lungs, the heart beating inside your chest, the sun, the night, the laws of the universe. What if you are truly a son or daughter of that King of Kings? Yes, it is written in his book. That means you are not just a weak human being, you have identity. If you and the world did not know your identity yet, imagine a knight sent by a king kneeling before you and saying, I have finally found you, your highness. If danger approaches, you are not standing by yourself. When you know who you belong to, the forces behind the king stand behind you. That is why those who live this way do not panic like others. When money runs out or trouble comes, they carry confidence that things will turn out for good, because they trust the power behind them. All they did was discover their identity, and keep connecting to it. From today, you can start looking for that identity. It's like when you were a little child. Another kid wouldn't share his candy with you. You felt hurt. You felt rejected. So you ran home crying. You ran to your father. But your Father isn't just an ordinary man. He is the King of the whole universe. He smiles. He gently opens the door and says, "Come here. Let me show you something." Behind that door are rooms filled with more candy than you could ever imagine. Not just candies, but factories that can create anything you need. Suddenly, you realize something. You were crying over one small piece, while your Father owns everything. From that day on, you don't cry the same way anymore. Because now you know who your Father is. Talk to God, connect, and here is the important part. You don't need to be religious. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need long rituals. You don't need to wake up early on Sundays. Just connect, like breathing, like eating your favorite ice cream. Simple, turn it on, talk, listen, rest, even 10 minutes a day. At night, fall asleep while talking to Him. No pressure, no performance, just connection. Little by little, you begin to feel something shift. A little clarity, a little peace, a small light at the end of confusion. Falling in love doesn't happen in one day. You think about the person. You talk. You spend time. Connection grows. What if prayer works the same way? You may not hear a voice immediately. There is no guarantee of fireworks. But slowly, something changes inside. You might not receive a clear A, B, C answer right away. But as you continue to pray about one specific issue, you may begin to feel something shift inside you. Sometimes it comes as clarity. Sometimes as a dream. Sometimes as a strong sense. Either a heavy feeling, like something is blocked, or a sudden peace, like a clogged sink finally clearing and the water flowing freely. That inner release can be God saying, "Go ahead." Or that heaviness can be His way of saying, "Not this way." Other times, the answer may come externally. A door suddenly opens, an opportunity appears, or you receive an unexpected call from someone. And deep inside, you simply know. That is what many people mean when they say their prayer was answered. What if you could live like that too? And maybe the real question is not, does prayer work? But, are you willing to connect? Click to watch the next video.